There you go. Hello, Hazel. Recording is in
Hello.
progress.
Lovely to meet you again.
You too. Yeah, we've been working for, I don't know, it's been a month, I reckon.
Yes, a month now, yeah.
But we haven't spoken to each other. We haven't seen each other because we live in different countries, first of all.
Yes, indeed.
I absolutely love the way you work because I was actually telling to some of my colleagues, I've never spoken to the woman. She's messaging me all the time on Facebook, and yet she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. And I talk to some of my colleagues every day, all the time, and I can't get them to do their job.
I know it's for me, it's my background. I come from IT and project management where I have to look after large teams of people. And due to something that happened a couple of years ago in the world that I don't really believe in, all our jobs got made remotely, which was an absolute bonus for me, being someone who likes to work my own hours and having pets. And it improves your already good skills in terms of being able to manage people and being able to communicate. Doesn't matter what you do as a job, whether you work in project management or you sweep the floors in an office, everybody should be treated the same. I don't believe in hierarchy, and I believe that, whether you pay me £1 million a year or you give me a £1 tip at Christmas, you're my friend and you deserve respect and being communicated to in a polite and friendly manner. So I just bring that with me to ask Hazel.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was my next question. Could you please explain what you do, and in terms of your business?
Yeah, so to explain a bit, for a long time, and I won't go into details, but I am quite spiritual myself, and I've always had sort of almost, I know I'm psychic. And I finished a contract that I was working for a rather large, big IT company known around the world. And the market just went completely dead. And I took Christmas off. I thought it's time to download, to relax, to ground myself. And in the new year, looking for new work. And that didn't quite work out. I mean, the break and the downloading and the chilling out, etc., that was amazing. I really sort of got back to my full strength because in some of the IT work that I've done, it's very, very fast paced. It's very stressful, blah, blah, blah. But the work wasn't coming. And I kept saying to, however you want to define it, your guides, your spirits, the messages, the downloads. And they kept saying to me, you've got to start your own business. You have got all the skills. We've given you the skills. You've done 20 years managing other people, doing IT tech, doing design, testing websites, building them. Take it yourself now. Take this gift we've given you and take it to the world and help other people. And I kept thinking about it, and I kept having dreams about a rose gold laptop. Don't ask me why. To this day, I have never really. I think it was just because it was sparkly and new, and they kept showing me a bank account, and I got various downloads. And then, literally, probably my birthday was in the end of May, and I thought, you know what? New year, new start. Let's do this. And then you start thinking about all the names. And I was just like, I'm going to keep it so simple. Ask Hazel, she can help you, which was what I was doing for my friends, funnily enough. And it started off as I created a bespoke search engine so that people came to me and they were saying all kinds of random things I need. Insurance for my pet. I need somewhere for my pet to stay when I go on holidays. I can't get a cheap flight. I need to get baggage to go on the flight, but Ryanair want to charge me X amount of pounds, etc., etc. And that's how it first started. But then, because of my IT background, people were saying like, "Oh, I love your social media." And my social media goes into two kind of realms, if you will. I have the standard, if you will, static photo with some words and some flashing GIFs that I put on the top. But then I got into the animated art. I don't want to say AI as such, because there's a limit to AI in terms of where I believe it's good and where I don't believe it's good. I don't believe, like, for instance, me and you are on this video now. I'm not filtered, you're not filtered. I am what I am, and I'm proud of what I am. Yes, if I zoomed in, I have some wrinkles, but that's me being authentic and me being me. I
Yeah.
don't believe in this, gifts where they make you look like you're 19 again, because I don't think anyone wants to be 19 again. The hangovers would kill me. So yeah, the social media really started kicking off because I was doing all these animated posts for people, just friends initially. And as I got the business started, I started with one particular friend who I've known for some years now, and she was a psychic medium. And she said, "Well, what things can you do?" And it started to me. I said, "Have you got a Linktree account?" "No, what's one of them?" So I explained about Linktree. Yes. So I explained, to me, I described Linktree as a filing cabinet. So within that file, if you take a standard metal filing cabinet with, say, 3 or 4 drawers, we'll say 4 in this analogy, you can put something in each drawer. So for instance, in drawer 1, you'd have a link to your website, then you'd have a link to your Facebook, then you'd have a link to your TikTok, and then a link to your Instagram. But all that happens with the Linktree is that, say you have a Instagram account and people like something that you posted and they go to your bio, instead of having all these links saying go here, go there for this and that, you have this one-stop link, and when they click on it, they automatically get all of your links, so that from a promotions point of view, as I did with Debbie, as I'm doing with you and another client, to have a link tree there, they get to see all of your social media links straight away, which, they might be more of a Facebook than a TikToker, etc. But, they might look at all of them and see different social posts. It gives them a greater view of who the client is. So it started with that. And then I said to her, "So how's your website?" "Oh, I haven't got a website." "Oh, well, I love doing websites. And for me, again, it's design, it's color. So I created her website. But for me, it's about you. I say écouter, which is French because I live in France, but it's about listening. So when you, like, for instance, I didn't know you when we first met. I knew very little about you. And that's where I have to do my job. I have to listen. I have to ask the right questions so that I can then produce for you whatever it is, the website, the social media, to make it look and feel what you want, but also to embrace your brand. So with my first client, Debbie, I knew that she was into everything that was very, in her mind, royal. So I went with purple because it's a very royal colour. And then I did a lot of media images for it of different things like tarot card spreads, candles, because candles can be very embracing. They can be quite calming. And then to enhance the goldness, because you don't just want, I see so many websites where they're just one colour and there's no additional features. We went for a kind of reflective gold glitter, which went very well with the purple. And so with that particular client, set up a link tree, set up a website, and then I went with the logos. So for instance, what I try and do with clients is say, if you've got a logo, you use that logo across all your social platforms. And, some people have really beautiful logos. They don't need changing. But what people don't understand is you only have 3 seconds to engage with someone on social media. And if you've got some kind of clip art thing that just says "Ask Hazell" in very New Times Roman, and it's black and white, they won't even give you a second of a thought. But the minute you bring something into that media, the right blend of colours, the right amount of wording that gives you just enough for someone to go, "Oh, she does social media management, she does web design, she does SEO, she does branding," then it's like the initial hookup. So it was like when it came to working with yourself and you were explaining all the things that you do, I would never have gone near colours like purple with you, because to me, for your kind of work, it would be too harsh. And we went much more down the blush route. The kind of I want to say the embracing hug without someone giving you a massive kiss. And everything was very, for me, calming. We're talking about lotus flowers, and we're talking about water and everything that flows and everything that grows. So that was where I very much went with yourself. I had another client that came along who was from a different, although she, again, this girl was a psychic, she already had a website. Now, this was the conundrum. So she said, I've got this website, so I'm just not getting the hits. And within 3 seconds of me being on a website, I had to close the website down. I have a very analytical and intelligent brain because of my IT background. But the sensory overload with that website, the background was the harshest plain white that you could ever have. It was image upon image upon image stuck on top of each other. And it was really, I mean, you know, particularly with people who have perhaps ADHD or other kind of issues in their life where they just need things to be simple. It was kind of like, you know, you look at people who are like epileptic and they can't cope with the flashing lights and etc. on websites and on TV. This website was just a nightmare. And I had to be really honest with the girl and say, the content and the wording of your website is amazing, but if anyone stays on your website for more than 5 seconds, I will be surprised because of the. And I explained it, but I explained it in a way that she understood it. And I said, you know, what you're doing, you're giving. She was doing Reiki healing. She was doing psychic workshops, weekly. What do you call it? Training sessions to be a psychic. She was offering daily support and blogs. So we paid it back. I took the whole website back, took all the images off. So all I was left with was a white website and all the wording. Not only did I then start with the media and trying to warm up the website, take it away from the white and go with colours. And because she does a lot with animals, we went with a very light, sort of almost like mint green, and then we accented it with a darker green. And again, not a really dark green, but just to give it a bit of wow. It stood out, but the lighter sort of mint green was the embracing colour for her. And then the big thing that I got into, and I've again been doing it over many years, is the SEO services. So what a lot of people don't realize is it's not just SEO. So to explain a little bit for you, yes, the first thing that I always do when I go onto anyone's website is I look at what they do. I find out about them. We chat, you know, usually so far it's been messenger chats, email chats, some video chats. And we realize what they're doing. So if we take you, for instance, you know, your work is varied. Not only do you do things in the sort of psychic realms, you have the beautiful handmade produce in the creams, etc. You do the content writing, and you know, you've so many different facets to what you offer to the client. And we have to take them things. And when I say them things, I mean them keywords. And you take them keywords and you highlight them, and it's almost in the most simplistic terms, it's like you use a tool that goes onto your website and you're highlighting keywords and you're telling this tool, these are the words that I want to be searched by when people go looking on your Google, your Yahoo searches, wherever they come from to find you. Then secondly, you want to make sure that your client is appearing not only in the searches, but higher up. Now that is the most costly thing, and it is a thing that is incredibly difficult to do. You're never going to be number one on the list because you've got the major corporations who pay hundreds of thousands of pounds to sit at number one every day of the week. But if you can imagine a laptop and you appear in the first 10 to 15, then you've made it. But that is an ever ongoing process because the internet changed the algorithms, you know. So what I do with clients is, and I've been doing it with yourself, is I'm continually going into your website and I'm continually looking at the words that we've picked for you to be searched by and saying, right, we need to add another word in, or we need to take this word out and put it out, and we do that.
Mm.
And then that will help keep you at a level point of view, and to be, again, kept at the place where you want to be seen. But SEO isn't for me just that. I know with a lot of companies it is, but for me, it's then about the self-promotion. So I am not only in a lot of very, very big Facebook groups that match, say, for instance, your business and most of the businesses I've worked with so far. I'm also admin in some of those groups, which is often quite helpful because I can improve the adverts rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also in a lot of groups in TikTok, in Instagram. I have connections that I have made over the years, and more recently, since I started the company up, with other businesses that want to do collaborations. And at the moment, I'm speaking with 3 fairly large holistic, natural, organic companies, with regards to yourself as a client, to get you onto their website. Now, it's not just a case of them saying, yes, okay, we have a good chat, and they go, well, I relish Yana's brand and I'd love to do something with her. What we do first is we get you up there. So we have your lovely blush logo, we add it onto their website. That when we put it onto their website, we get them to put the link to your shop, so that if anyone sees that, they click on it, they get directed to your shop. I do the same on my website, so you're on my website and people get directed to you. Then, because of these people who've agreed to do the, as I call it, collaboration, it isn't the end by just putting your logo on and that traffic might come to you. It's then about saying, right, what do you do? And they tell me, and they might do something that's slightly different to you, but makes to me a great marriage proposal. So then what I do is say, well, look, you've got, I'm trying to think of something now. You're selling organic health produce, which is something that's incredibly important in my life, but also it's very important to people's bodies. I always say you are what you eat. And so then I look at something like you're doing, like the handmade creams and potions. Well, again, that fits very well with one of the clients I've been speaking to. So I then send all the links to your produce to this client, and I know she's already come back to me to say, oh my God, these look amazing. I'd be very interested. Yes. But this girl is someone who has a massive presence on particularly Instagram, which is where I found her. And we all aspire to have the whatever it is, the 10K, the 50K, however many followers you want to have. Now with Ask Hazell, I've literally only started this 5 weeks ago, and the Instagram's been going 3 weeks. So I'm still building up, and I do that every time I'm not working with a client. It's like, right, give me 10 minutes, I'm going to go on mine and build my clients up. But this is a girl who's got about 120,000 followers, which is very good for you, because even when you look and you say, half of them clients will go onto her site, and she will be doing a post for you. So on her blog, she's going to be talking about you, and so I've got to give her some writing, which I'll be conversing with you to make sure that what we give her to speak about you in her blog is to your agreement. She does a daily blog, and she doesn't just do a daily blog and put it on her website. She puts a copy of her blog on Instagram and TikTok. She uses a couple of other platforms, some that I won't use for various reasons, but Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are the 3 biggest ones in my world. And even if only half that look at it go to read the newsletter, you only have to do the maths and say, if she's got whatever it is, 100, I can't remember now, 133,000 followers. If half of them look at it and you say, I'm not doing the maths here, but 60,000, say, for instance, go and look at her newsletter. I actually asked for her stats as how many people were, and she had about 72,000 people looking at her blogs. So that is just a massive, massive win for me to be able to get in with her, to showcase. And then I've gone back to her this morning and I've said, please bear in mind, this is not the only element to Yana. I said Yana is like a diamond, and I describe most of my clients like diamonds because diamonds are precious.
Yes.
But when you look at different cuts of diamonds, and we're not going to go there because I do like my jewelry, but when you look at something that's like a princess cut diamond, it is cut in many facets, has many different elements to make that diamond be the shiniest, brightest diamond, as opposed to something like an emerald cut, which is just a flat cut, and sometimes they can look like the most cheap, boring diamonds ever. But when you take a princess cut, it's how I describe my clients, because I don't have any one client that does one thing. They all do tarot, they do healing, they have organic produce, they do coaching, they do writing, and so you've got to take all of them elements and then try and get this collaborator to talk about all of it. So I am at the point where, not today but tomorrow, I have to put together a sort of little speech about you, which will go to you, and you can edit and add in what you want, and you give it me back, and this will go to the client. And then once the client agrees to it, I'll be then told when in the future, as in the next couple of weeks, you'll be focused. I'll give you the client's details. You can add her on Instagram and TikTok, but she's most prevalent on Instagram. And then you'll know on what day, because I'll tell you. And she's going to share her stats from that blog with us, so we can see how many people, and then we just get the popcorn out and sit back and wait. And so it's about that. Is again, everything comes back to two things with me: communication, listening, and a third one, as I always say at Ask Hazell, is together we are stronger.
You're
It's
doing
amazing.
an incredible job, because I told you a few times actually that I've noticed that my stats have gone up since I've been working. Visitors on Instagram, on TikTok. I mean, YouTube is not, I'm not too focused on YouTube at the moment, but yeah, everywhere else. And when you said SEO, that was the main reason I wanted to work with someone like you, because I thought I could figure it out, but I didn't. And the problem with small businesses is we think that we have to do everything to save money. Well,
yes,
yeah, but by doing everything myself, I'm wasting energy. I feel more tired, and I don't even think about money because I'm too tired to think about that.
yes.
So a few years ago, I found this woman, Australian woman, and she's talking about money blocks. And I recently started watching her videos again. And she always says, just outsource it. If you don't want to work too much, just outsource it. And when I gave you all this big piece of work, I felt so relieved. And you actually know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just, I've done it for 20 years. I absolutely love it. And because I've done a lot of management of people, I understand in this world the stresses that we have. And anyone who's watching this will probably say I'm practically horizontal most of the time. I'm very chilled. It's just my nature. And so stress doesn't really come into my life so much. But what I mean by that is because I've worked on projects where they have been stressful beyond belief, where most people would have been in a corner rocking and crying, and I've just gone, you know what, I'll do this job, but I'll never work for you again. That's the way. And I've gone, at the end of it, I've gone, thank you so much for this experience, because what did it give me? It gave me an income. I learnt new skills, and what I don't say, but I say in my head, is I learnt how people should be and who I want to work with and who I don't want to work with. So there's many reasons, but that IT background has given me such a platform to be able to do this and to help people. You just have to listen. I mean, I work in many various areas with different people, but as I say, at the moment, because of maybe my background being very, in tune with the universe and being fairly psychic myself, not that I do it for a living at all, I don't. But I understand, and at the moment, all clients have all been in the natural world, natural creams, natural health, psychic mediumship, Reiki, you name it. They've all come to me making inquiries. It's been an amazing experience so far, and I'm just super excited for what's going to come going forward.
And is it correct to say that spiritual people in general are not very good with technology and SEOs?
Okay, so I don't wish, and because I don't like to speak ill of anybody, but I have to be honest, particularly in the psychic world, most of them have very little technical knowledge. You know, I've explained things to them in a very simplistic way because I understand they don't have the background that I come from. And even then, in some cases, you've just gone and got a clue, Hazell. Here's my password, do it for me. Also, you find that, I don't know, I haven't put my finger on this one yet, but a lot of people from the psychic world that I've met have also got dyslexia. I've noticed quite a few people with dyslexia, and there've been 2 or 3 people I've just gone, I think this person's got dyslexia. Absolutely no problem with that. And so I've been, you know, very helpful to them from that point of view. But quite a few of them have been quite open and said, look, we really need your help because, you know, my English isn't great. I struggle, particularly on websites. You know, when you're having websites with the big amounts of color that interferes with how they read the words on the screen. Yeah. So it's very much about stripping back things and just giving them the help that they need. And as I say, there is never any shame in admitting something that you're struggling with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I actually, one of the reasons I didn't ask for help when you just mentioned that is that I didn't want to admit to myself that I can't do it, because I thought I can do it all. I thought I could do it all. No, I was wrong. But there you go, I'm admitting to myself that I was wrong. And the fact that I asked for help, that is a huge relief and a huge step forward.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, it's not a failure to ask. This is what I say to people because, you know, I'm far from perfect. Let me tell you, far from perfect. I have my weaknesses too. And for many years, I never acknowledged them because, like you, I thought it was a weakness. But you know, the minute you acknowledge that it isn't your forte or strong point, doing something is the minute you feel free.
Yeah.
And then whether you're psychic or not, the universe will show you ways to help you with your weakness. You know, I found various things that I needed help with, and I just said, universe, show me how I can fix this, you know, whether it be through learning or getting someone else involved. And it's always worked. You know, you don't have to necessarily believe in psychic mediums, but I will tell anyone who is on the fence about this, if you've got a problem, I say put it out to the universe. And if you don't believe in the universe, just, if you're religious, say a prayer. If you're not religious like me, I sit at night time and I thank the world for my good day, even if it's been a little bit on the rough side. And I say, thank you for everything you've shown me today. I ask that tomorrow you give me guidance and help. You know, I need help with and it might be something really menial, like I live in France, and sometimes trying to get certain things that I would have got in the UK is nigh on impossible. And I'll ask the universe, show me. You know, I've been looking for I was looking for a new, I don't want to say file of facts because that sounds very 1980s, but I was looking for a new book.
Oh, right.
And I asked the universe, and they found me one that says, be kind, with lots of stars on it. And I couldn't find one anywhere when I went to the shops. And they kept saying to me, what's your emails? And then yesterday, I got an email from a company that was doing all these like positive affirmation type books that you can have all your different papers and your organisers in. And I was like, oh, amazing. And it was a good price as well, which was the benefit of the universe helping out. So yeah, people need to vocalize. The minute we put it out there, the minute things will start to come in, if you believe.
Yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. I mean, I manifested you before I met you. I was for months, I was asking the universe, send me someone to help me, send me someone to help me. And then I thought, hold
Yes.
on a minute, I'm not specific in what I'm actually asking, because people don't realize that you have to be specific when you ask something from the universe. And I said, I want someone who is not going to cost a fortune. I want someone who knows
Yes.
what they're doing and who aligns with my energy. And there you are.
Yes. And one key thing that you brought out that is important is expensive, because I can tell anybody who watches this, you go and look on Google for SEO services, and on average, an SEO service provider will be roughly, and if it's cheap, about £1,500 a month.
Yeah.
It's an extortionate service that we all need, but we don't want to pay that cost.
Yeah.
It's the same with creating websites. And one of the things that I wanted to do with Ask Hazel was I wanted to help people, which I know I've been able to do. And it makes me incredibly happy to be able to help people, because I'm a helper. I like to make sure that people are okay. It's just in my nature. But I wanted to do it from a point of view that, look, I'm a brand new business. I set my business up with pennies. Literally, I created my own website, so that cost me nothing apart from hosting it.
Yeah.
I created all my design work, so what did that cost me? My time. Now, there's other companies out there that will be in a very similar position. They've started out selling organic vitamins, or doing psychic readings, or providing writing content, or something of that nature, and they might be doing this as a sideline to a standard 9 to 5 job. And that 9 to 5 job is paying the mortgage and paying for the ever increasing prices of the supermarket shop and the internet bill and your gym membership and whatever else. You might not necessarily have a massive amount of money left over for starting your business. So this is why I came into the market. I mean, yes, I have to make an earning out of this, because this is going to be my career. But what I want to do is be able to give people what they want, listen to them, give them back what they needed, i.e. in website, SEO, social media, but without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
Because another facet to my business is that I know that if I do a good job for someone, they'll tell a friend, and I'll engage more people that way. And we all look at things from different perspective, 3D, 4D, etc. And I'm not in what they call the 3D world. I don't look at this as I want to earn, £300,000 and buy a Range Rover Sport.
Yeah.
Them days are not. They're not for me. Yes, I admit in my youth I wanted the nice cars and the big money. But now my happiness and my health are the most important things in the world. And doing this and helping people with the social media has made me so happy. So yes, it is important to point out that this is not done from a place of greed, and that, if people are worried about the costs, just DM me and we can talk. And if it fits your bill, it fits your bill.
Right, we have just a couple of minutes left on here. I'm going to stop recording.
Okay.
Can we join on the other link?
Okay, yeah.
All right then. We'll see you in a minute.
See you in a minute. Oh my God,
I'll just press recording so I can hear you saying it to record it.
All right. Yeah, a girl from TikTok contacted me, and she had a really big following, and she said, "Oh, I need some SEO work." And I said, "Right, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford it right now." And I said, "Right, okay." And she didn't know my prices, and I said, "Have you looked around on the internet?" She said, "I have." She said, "It's not the kind of money I can afford to spend." And I said, "I appreciate that." I said, "But that's one of the reasons I set up this company, is to give people a more affordable option." I said, "Look, tell me what exactly it is where you see your problems lie." So we had a little chat, and I said to her, "Right, well, let me go away now and put something together for you, because no two packages are the same for people." I went back to it, and then I said, "Look, this is where we're looking at in terms of a package and what it could cost, and what I'll do for you. I'll get you promoted, I'll get you some collaborations, you will get some social media design, mainly animated design, because that works really well with the SEO services, because they get picked up quite quickly.
Yeah.
and left it with her for a couple of days. And I got a message from her this morning saying, "Oh my God, I need to join the Ask Hazel family." I'm like, woo.
Yeah, when you told me what you were going to do with my, how you're going to design my, you
Yes.
gave me the example with the Christmas tree.
Oh yes, yes.
And then when you told me how much you're gonna charge me, I sort of looked at the screen and I thought, is this woman, did she make a mistake?
Mhm.
Because when I looked in the past for someone like you, the prices are ridiculous, and what they give in
Yeah.
return, it doesn't add value to what I was going to pay. And
Yes.
and also I like that you create bespoke work for everybody, because not
Yeah.
everybody's business is the same.
No, it isn't. And I make a point of, because sometimes when I create a piece of design work, I'm always thinking of the clients. And obviously I'm new, so my client base isn't big at the moment. I'm growing like a tree. It's going to take me time. But the minute I start working on it, it's like, whether you want to call it universe, intuition, I'll just go, this one's for Yana. So then all of a sudden I know what I'm going to add into any particular animated media piece for you, and what kind of contact information we want to put on there to just make it clear, relevant, and for people to read it. And what another thing people don't realize is, particularly not well, yes, with Instagram, but particularly with TikTok, is music. Now, when I was at school, my three majors at school were languages, IT, and music. I studied music from the age of 3 right up until I was about 18, danced all around the world, but music was my thing: piano, guitar, accordion, you name it. So I've always been really big on music, and when all the kind of modern day electronic decks came out for all it, think of like Ibiza and Pasha and all these different clubs in Ibiza, I really wanted to learn how to do it because of my musical background. And it's always just something, been a hobby and something I've really enjoyed doing. But you wouldn't believe the difference that music makes to some of the posts that people put on TikTok. I can put the same post on twice with a different piece of music on each one. And I've tested it so many times, and it'll say, "Oh, you got 50 views of this video," and then the next one it'll say you got 1,500, and it's all because of the music. There is nothing different on the two. So that is something that plays a key part when I'm doing social media for people. You'll have various pieces of music that are, as they term it in the world, TikTok viral, or Instagram viral. So I try sometimes, I might create an animated piece of imagery that, when I've done it, it gives me the applications and the stuff that I use to create them all say, "Oh, here's a hint, would you like this piece of music?" And it might be a classical piece of music, it might be a country piece of music, and I'll think, yeah, I like that, but I know I'm not going to get as many views with it for the client as if I put it with said piece of music. So I'm always watching. I keep stats on the viral music that's going around on social media. Admittedly, some of the viral music I would never put on any of your media because it's very Ibiza-esque, or it's very rap music, because there's a big following in the rap culture. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with rap music. For anyone who's wondering, I love all kinds of music, but you have to get music that not only suits the client, but that suits the social media platform that it's going to be outpouring to, because sometimes people will do a search on a piece of music and not a post, believe it or not. I don't know why, but they do. Maybe it's the younger people.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't know that. I had no, well, there you go. I learned something new. I didn't know the music can affect the stats
Yeah,
in social media.
yeah,
Because I,
massively.
one of the animations you sent me, or whatever you want to call them, I had
Hmm.
a lot of views on social media, and I think I sent you a screenshot. And I
Yes,
was wondering why that is, and maybe it's the music.
it can often be the music. I mean, I like to think that if you want to be fair, you want to say that it's 70% your design and 30% the music. But in this world, you know, even if you have a great design, sometimes the music can overtake that. So I'll go with a 50-50 approach. If you get your design right, that you know, what I try to say to people is that even if we didn't put any wording, I just gave you an animated little, you know, 10-second video that doesn't say Yana, doesn't say, you know, coaching or anything on it. And I just give you a video with a piece of music, that video will tell the story as much as possible. So, you know, I did one for a Reiki healer the other day, and in the animated video, it was how can you describe it? It was almost like floaters were going around and they were encapsulated in a golden light. It was so beautiful. The only way I can describe it is if you were a child and you used to get them little pots of bubbles that used to blow, and when the little bubble came out, it was very iridescent. It was like iridescent bubbles with floating Buddhas in a kind of yoga pose. And I said to her, "What does that say to you?" And she went, "Yoga." And I went, "There you go." You know, that's why I try to be very specific with the imagery that I use. That if for any reason a client didn't want the details putting on the imagery, which is very rare, or if you've got someone who's only half watching on social media, they'll go, "Oh, looks like that's yoga," etc., etc. So it's about giving people a sense of experience with the imagery, but instead of them just going, "Oh, it says she's a social media designer," they'll see that from the image, they'll see it from the wording, they'll hear it in the music. So, you know, sometimes it's like when you've got like wellness coaches and you've got healers, you know, you won't pick a song that talks about I went out and had a big meal today, and then we went on the drink and we got drunk. You know, you just won't put that kind of a lyrical song. But you'll pick something like "It's My Time to Shine" or "You Are the One." And you think of the phrases and you can put them into any kind of musical engine, and it will bring you back music that you can listen to in clips, and then take them clips and I then amalgamate them into the imagery to make it like the whole package, and to try and get you as many views as possible.
Yeah, you are doing an incredible job. And when you sent me
Thank you.
When you sent me my logo,
Oh,
when I
yes.
looked at it and I thought, why didn't I think of that? It's nice and simple. It's my name, which is my brand, and also it says what I actually do. And there is a flower, because a
Yes.
flower was very important to me. And I like the color. It was all very soft on the eyes color.
Yes.
Yeah, you're doing
And I
great.
think,
And I've praised you many times to different people, and I have said
thank you.
to
It's much
different people, when I'm making my millions, I'm going to give her a bonus, because I'm gonna make millions, Hazel. I'm going to be a multimillionaire, and I'm gonna need you
Of course you are.
to help me. Yeah, and this is another thing, people, we just don't value ourselves enough. You know, if you want to be rich,
No,
be rich. Who's going to stop you?
exactly. You have to you have to know your worth, and there is no harm whatsoever in saying, "I am going to be a success. I'm going to have money in the bank. I'm going to be able to go and book a holiday and pay for it all out of my bank account in cash because I can. But I'll do it because I've worked hard." And whilst some people will say, "Oh my God, how can you charge this much or that much or whatever," to people like me, it is my choice to charge what I want. I appreciate that as business grows and the market grows, prices will change, but I will never be one of them corporate companies charging £2,000 and £3,000 to make your company look sparkling. I just can't do it. I can still, make a lot of money through word of mouth, through people, through clients, through social media, and that collectively will make me the money that I need to enjoy my life. And like yourself, I say to myself every morning, I love you. I am a good person. I am successful. Today is a new beginning.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful, actually. I think we can wrap it up. This is a beautiful saying at the end of our conversation. Hazel, how can people
Mhm.
find you?
So, give a couple of options. If you go onto Facebook, just type in Ask Hazel. You'll find me on Facebook. I'm Ask Hazel on Instagram. I'm Ask Hazel or a VIP on TikTok. I can put all the links into the video for you
Yeah,
when the video is up and live. You can get me on email as well. I'm askhazelvip@gmail.com. And the website is askhazel.vip.
excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I will.
www.askhazel.
Yeah, I will include all of your links in the video below.
Yes.
And if someone who is a small business is watching this, I highly recommend to contact Hazel because she's doing a really good job. I can see the difference. And
All that matters.
it's not, and obviously I don't just sit around and wait for Hazel to do everything for me. I've been consistent on social media since the 1st of July, and I can see the difference.
Yes. Yeah.
But you need to be consistent in what success is not about perfection, it's about consistency.
Yes. You got to
Uh,
show up to the game.
yeah, exactly. And it's very nice, to ask the universe, oh, universe, give me this, universe, give me that. But at some point, the universe is going to kick your bottom because you have to do something.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for someone to help you with social media, SEOs, design, whatever it is, ask Hazel.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, I'm sure we'll collaborate again. I was talking to Debbie
Yes.
about going live, so I think when she comes back from her holiday, I think we should organize live, three of us.
I totally agree. Yes, yes. She's mentioned it to me, and I think it will be a fabulous idea.
Yeah, because I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm sort of preparing myself to go live this week. And
Oh,
you have to do it. That's the thing. I always say to
yes.
people, the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Well, I might just practice what I preach for.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should do it because imagine how many people we're going to reach with our
Oh,
content.
yes.
Yeah, and that is just
And
amazing.
and I will also do the design work
Yeah,
beforehand that we
there
can
you
all
go.
promote that we're going live,
Yeah,
and that will also engage people, give them full notice that we're
yeah,
coming on to spread a bit of sparkle.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Hazel, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank
And
you.
I look forward to making millions with you.
Exactly. Why not? Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.